You're listening to Design Between the Lines, the only design and home furnishings podcast where we talk with the movers and shakers, industry innovators, and lifetime legends of the home furnishings industry. It's here that I get a chance to sit and chat with the influencers shaping the industry into what it is today. This episode of Design Between the Lines is supported by the High Point Arts Council and Arts Greensboro, a division of the designated county partner with funding from the North Carolina Arts Council. Our guest today has ventured from Fairfax, Virginia, where he operates a full-service interior design firm as well as an e-commerce furnishing site. It's no secret that DuVäl Reynolds has been a growing force in the home furnishings industry, and his burgeoning talent has been recognized by publications such as Architectural Digest, House Beautiful, The Washington Post, and Designers Today. His breadth of work extends to service on the Interior Design Advisory Council for Marymount University, and while his portfolio has garnered significant attention, he has also imparted an indelible contribution to High Point Market Authority and High Point Market as a co-chair of their Diversity Advocacy Alliance. DuVäl, welcome to Design Between the Lines.
Yeah, that was really good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank goodness. I've got one fan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and I'm a fan of yours.
Such a fan.
Well, so let me. I'm going to start right out because I've looked at your website. I've followed you. I've heard so many things, great things about you from various people in the industry. Of course, we talked earlier about when we were off camera with Tom Conley, who happened to have been a guest, one of my first guests on this podcast.
Oh, Tom.
Yes. Education. What attracted you to the design industry, and where did you come from to kind of get in here?
First off, thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, I'm happy to be here. And so as far as education goes, I actually went to school, which a lot of people don't know. I actually went to school first for neurology. I was a double major in biology and Spanish, and then I double minored in chemistry and leadership. And so I thought I was going into the medical field. And then how I got into design was that some things changed. I left school early, went to New York for a little bit, and then I found myself in the DC metro area and just landed a job at a place called California Closets. And then while there, I found out that I had a knack for design. And so a few years in, I just decided I wanted to go back. I went back to get my degree in interior design, so a bachelor's in interior design, and here we are.
Wow. I mean, that's one pathway.
Yes.
with a I'll use the term that's been overused since 2020, with a pivot.
It was a pivot.
That I didn't see coming. But thank you for letting us know that. Wow. And I'm thinking details. You're probably very good at details, I'm thinking.
No, I think that's where we excel, for sure, is details.
Did you have early mentors as you were growing up? Some people do, some people don't.
In design?
Yeah, or in general, in life, life skills.
I don't know if I had mentors. I did have, maybe they were on TV or something, but I grew up in a very small town. And so I always knew I wanted to get out and I wanted to be in a bigger city. I wanted to be in a bigger pool to play in. And so for sure, I'm sure I was looking at someone, but by the time I got into design, I did have a design mentor. Her name was Rachel James. And she really did help me out and kind of took me under her wings. Another lady named, a German designer, her name is Marlies Venuti. She was really the one who helped me with business. And then from there, I have a ton of mentors now. And my peers, honestly, are my mentors at this point.
I was going to say some biggest inspirations, and I'm sure you likewise for them, which is
I don't know about that.
No, you never know.
You're being nice.
Yeah. Well, how today, in your opinion, looking at everything, how does design influence the day-to-day quality of people's lives today? What we've just been through in 2020.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where we are now, looking probably with a new set of eyes at where we're living.
Yeah.
And how we want to live, right?
Yeah. I mean, bringing up 2020 again, I'm still so grateful that we're all out of it for the most part, let's say, right?
Yes.
And there was a time we couldn't do this, so still grateful that we're here to do it. But design influences everything that we do. I mean, people know the basics of color, like color can enhance a mood or it can take you into a different mental space. But then obviously, with the scaling of furniture, it promotes comfort, the quality of materials that we put on, whether it's sustainable, it's longer lasting. So it affects us in those ways, but it's not just in residential design, it's in commercial design, it's in car design, how your car sits and how your steering wheel holds, design is everywhere. And so I think it affects us much more than people realize. And I think also with being at home in 2020, people are being more mindful of how their spaces function. And, is it multifunctional? Can I get to things easily? Am I being able to relax easily, or things at my disposal, whether your cup sits closer or your bookcases are in front of you to know which books to grab? Design is everywhere.
So obviously, when you're dealing with a client, lots of question and answers. I'm guessing you're wearing your psychologist hat at that point,
yes.
because you're trying to learn what's in their head about what makes them happy. I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Well, what's your approach to design? I mean, how do you put it all together as you're doing your? I know that's a big question. So you could take it in small bites. Yeah.
It's magic, John. It's pretty simple. It's the basics.
Well, I mean, let's say, are you being able to boost your unique creative voice through your clients?
Yeah.
In a way, when you're putting your thoughts together with theirs.
Yeah. I don't think I sit and think about this enough to probably give you like a really smart answer. So I would say that I think one of the biggest things we do is reading between the lines is probably the hardest thing to learn.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning stages of design, your goal is to give the client what they say. And then as you grow, you start realizing that you must give them what they're not saying, and you must design what they don't know to ask for, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the tricky part, is they will tell you they want color, and that's not necessarily what they meant, or they'll say modern, but they really wanted something that feels fresh, but still traditional.
Mm-hmm.
So reading between the lines, I think, is the hardest and trickiest thing. And that's how I approach design, is first making sure I heard what they said, listed out what they didn't say, and then infuse it what I think that the boundaries that I can push with them to see what I can infuse in that way, and then kind of combine all of that.
So earlier you mentioned, you had sort of an inspirer or mentor on the design side and one on the business side.
Yeah.
So how do you strike a balance between your business-oriented mindset, growth and so forth, and your creative one? How do you balance that?
I think that's a great question. I actually was just talking to some students about this the other day, and I think people in design industry, especially those entrepreneurs who are designers and creatives, let's say, we have to make space for both. I think for every successful business, you have to have structure and framework, and that's one discipline that you have to nurture, and then you have to have time for discovery and exploration. And that's a discipline you have to nurture. And so I think that you have to give space to build your systems, your processes, and be able to understand how to bring the client in, move them through the process, and leave them with a lasting impression. But you also must give yourself time to try things out, go be inspired, take the day off. And that has to be put within the system to be successful.
Gotcha.
I hope that makes sense.
That totally makes sense, and I'm gonna pull that thread later in the conversation. Your process. Okay. So I'm gonna just say you've got a contact. It turns out it's going to be a client.
Okay.
Step me through the process in general terms from there to fruition of the project.
Yeah. Are they rich and famous?
Well, there you
Great.
go. Okay, let's put that list. Yeah,
we will take the client. Yes. Okay. So we actually we have a very structured system. So we have a 3-phase, 7-step process. So there are 3 phases to how we take on a client and onboard them from start to finish. It's really just onboarding. It's your first phase into the design and then into installation. And then as far as our 7 steps, the first step is onboarding the client. We go to what's called trade day, which will give our team a chance to get to the project site. Everybody's there to make sure we collaboratively think about the project. And then we take our information from there. And then I think step 3 is our concept development. Step 4 is our design development. And I think step 5 is our final design. And so we obviously just go through the process of what the client wants, the color boards, mood boards, et cetera. And then we go into, once they're happy with the final design, we collect another payment. We go into procurement, which is our time to negotiate our deals, place all the orders, and then the final step is installation, which leads to the big reveal. So I know that was very technical, but yes, we have a very
your
clean
process playbook. That really is. So, and that seems to be a very term I hear a lot about these days is process playbooks.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about the other part of this, because as you grow a business, and I don't know, did you think when you were getting into interior design that you would have a team, and then how would you interview that team, and what would you look for in those individuals to place them in the right seats in your organization?
When I first got into it, I think I did think I would have a team, but you don't think through the logistics of that, right? Like you just are like, oh yeah, we'll have a team, we'll be big and we'll be happy, right? And then you get into it and you start realizing like, oh, like that's a whole nother game and that's a whole nother business to try to resolve. So yeah, the way that it finally happened for us, we brought on a person here and there, and then we found out what worked and what didn't work, and then you go to the next thing or the next person, unfortunately. And some were not good fits, and some were amazing people, but they would just be amazing at someone else's firm, right?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of it was, it was just trial and error for us.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I've heard this word before, this phrase, telling a story, storytelling, in terms of design. I mean, in a sense, when you're talking about the significance of storytelling and design, how does that balance that up against what you think excellent design is in any given circumstance?
Yeah.
I'm not making it finite into one particular instance, because I know there's a million of them out there.
Right. Yeah, I think storytelling and excellent design probably really do go hand in hand for me. Excellent design is telling one story at a time, and a single story in its the body of work, right? It's not 1,000 things happening at once. It's not a lot of moving pieces at once. Your eye is not distracted because you feel excited here and you're feeling moodier here. I think one moment to tell one story is excellent design. So whether that's in any design aesthetic by any designer, whether new or old, excellent design, I think is, one narrative, one story. I think that's a good way to put it.
Clearly stated. Yeah.
Clearly stated. Yeah.
Your role as co-chair of High Point Market Authority Diversity Advocacy Alliance. What does that entail, and what significance does that carry for you?
John, that's a big question.
Okay, let me break it down.
That's a big question, Ike. That's a lot of answers to that.
Look, it took me a while to get that.
No, so I mean, it's huge for me. Like, honestly, the biggest thing is to recognize or have High Point Market recognize a voice that has been what felt like we're constantly been saying the same thing, and for them to recognize it and then put effort behind the voice and to make space for it, I think it's a huge thing for us. It's a huge win. We're absolutely not at the end of the race. It really feels like we just started. And for me, it just shows that High Point Market, which is really, I mean, we're on a global platform at this point where it's around the world. And for those at the top of that, hearing our marginalized community say something and they say you're worth being heard, I think it speaks more volumes for those now. It's going to speak volumes for those who are coming up after us. I mean, I could go on about that.
Oh, I totally. Well, let me focus it a little bit more. So in that regard, what goals do you have for moving the industry forward? Knowing where you just stated, we're just at the beginning. So what goals do you have for moving things forward in the industry that you know?
I think it's a lot. I think we have a lot of goals. We have goals and understanding, but I guess the main goal is we want our voice to be heard by us. I feel like in a lot of times in past, I don't know how real we can be with this conversation, but I can be real, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
and that's why we're
good.
This conversation.
Good. All the publications and shelter magazines and all these things before were handled by Caucasians, and so they had the platform to decide the narrative, the voice, the structure of how things are communicated. And I think now we're just trying to say, hey, we've heard how you guys have said things, but we are saying it this way. We are designing it this way. We have our perspective from this voice, and versus trying to interpret it for us, just let us say it. Let us tell it. Let us tell those stories. And so the efforts that we're trying to make is to make sure that we're given space to give the stories on our own versus letting someone else tell it for us. And so that'll be done by different events that are held, different forums, like, or editors and publishers and people who are taking pictures. Maybe those in our community may photograph differently than a Caucasian may take a picture because that's what they've known. And we wanted to try something different. So I think we're just trying to make space at the table for us to not be interpreted by someone else, but let us just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, you don't want a frame put around you.
We don't want a frame put around us. Or if we do, let us put the frame around us.
Well, exactly. Then you're exposing the rest of all of us to a different perspective, which we should be.
Well, we hope so because I think the perspective has been only told by one story, one perspective, one lens.
Yeah.
And looking at this globally, which I was talking about, if we're on a global platform, it cannot just be done by one singular voice. And I think that can't be done by one culture, not just Black people, not just white people, but
Hmm.
Hispanics and, Asians and Middle Eastern and
Yeah.
everyone has a different perspective. And
Yeah.
I think market is starting to understand that if they really want a larger reach, the way to reach it is to let those channels be said by the people in that culture.
Mm.
And so I'm pretty excited.
And you should be. I think it's an unbelievable opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
I think for as you speak to young people. You mentioned that earlier.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep pulling that thread through. But are you seeing some energy there when you talk to them about our world?
Oh, yeah.
and they to the point where they'd like to get involved in it.
Oh,
with a
yeah,
career?
for
Okay.
sure, for sure. I mean, the crazy part is that, when we were growing up, like I didn't know an interior designer was a profession. The fact
Mhm.
that the students are actually knowing that now is already good. So that's a great starting point for them to understand the value of what we do
Mm.
versus them having to be older and experience it. Like they're being taught that this profession is such a luxury and it's such a great thing to be a part of. But I think that the students are already being educated with social media, TikTok, and influencers, and obviously there's much more social awareness than
Yeah.
we've ever had in any climate that we've been in. So no, they're already talking about that on their own, and then seeing their perspective go into our industry. I think it's fantastic.
Well, that's thank you for that, because it really kind of put it in a nice clear perspective. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to bring that back up in a little while, but we were talking about change and the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic and all of that. Has that affected now we're out of it? I mean, has that affected the new freedom and being able to meet with people
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this? And has that affected the way you do business now versus how you were doing it just a couple of years ago?
Yeah, right.
You're feeling there's more freedom for you to get around and speak
Yeah,
to your clients in
definitely.
person and
For sure.
be on the job site and all that.
Yeah, and it taught you to do things differently. Like, where we used to not present on Zoom, but I feel very confident presenting things on Zoom. I feel very confident having meetings with clients on Zoom where we used to never do that. We felt like that was so impersonal, or it felt like it wasn't allowed. But that has been great. Even the way we've changed business, where a lot of clients are more mindful that things are delayed. We
Mhm.
used to not have so much leniency with that. So that's been great. So we've been able to take on different vendors that have a longer lead time because clients are a little bit more patient.
Mhm.
So I think in all aspects, it's
So
been
that's
changed.
really added a whole nother dimension to your
Oh
marketing.
yeah. Oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
which is kind of neat to have that.
Yeah.
How has it transformed marketing at trade shows? In fact, what's your feeling about it? I know you attend trade shows.
Yes.
Obviously, you attend High Point Market.
Only High Point.
So good,
Yeah.
good answer.
There
Good
are no
answer.
other trade
Yeah.
shows.
I can hear Tammy going, look, that's wonderful. But here, in that respect, you've been through several shows and you've seen it before,
Yeah, yeah.
during, and after.
Yeah.
How do you feel the upcoming shows are going to be? What's your feeling about April and then October?
I'm excited. I'm always excited. I'm interested in where the trends are headed right now. I feel like definitely in seeing photography and shelter magazines, there's such a moodiness to a lot of the photography. So I wonder if the furniture vendors are going to be playing into that as far as like color palettes and their vignettes that they're creating.
I'm sort of wondering that.
Yeah, I'm
myself.
interested in that.
Do you
I also-
see anything coming? What do you see from your clients? What are they asking for and their vibe? Because, sometimes they see stuff that the rest of us don't maybe pick up
I
on.
don't know. I think our clients, they see stuff and we're like, stop looking at it. We'll show you things.
Okay, good
I
idea.
also am really interested in, I feel like English design is coming in. I'm feeling a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm hearing a lot about that. Their palettes, their patterns, or the way that they live and how they design. I'm interested in seeing if that is going to be interpreted in this market.
Am I hearing this sort of like new traditional thing?
Yeah,
There's a word?
modern traditional. Yeah.
And I'm going,
Uh-huh.
what is that exactly? Yeah, I think you nailed it
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. To me, that's like amazing. So now, speaking of that and looking at present and looking at future markets
Okay.
and so forth. So what's new for DuVäl? Any upcoming
John.
projects for you
Oh,
that you
God.
can share with us?
Oh yeah, they're top secret.
Well, they
they're
could
so
be.
private. I don't know. I think we're at this point we're probably just trying to rebrand ourselves. I think with our team now we're really solid, and we're trying to scale the type of clientele we're taking on. So for us, we're probably just going to rebrand. I have a very relaxed and casual brand, I guess you'd say. And so I think we're going to just take it up just a little bit in the coming months, just so we can scale our business into a different.
Are you going to be
stratosphere.
involved in product design?
Oh my God, I would love to.
Yeah.
Are you claiming that for me now?
We got a big audience, so say it now.
Well, actually, we have House of DuVäl, which is our e-commerce site, and so we will be putting up more exclusive brands for us. Yes, 100%, we will do that. But it's not the focus now, but probably by the end of the year, we'll see some more things out.
You have a favorite area you like to dabble in design-wise for a product?
Oh, that's really good.
Is it lighting? Is it occasional?
I think I love upholstery. I love upholstery. I'm not good enough to design lighting, although lighting is a massive deal for me. I love lighting in my projects, but as far as design, I think upholstery is where I'm at right now. I'm just not seeing what I want to see, so we'll make it.
All right, so that brings me. You just gave me another question. So what about lighting is important to you in your projects? Tell me. What
Lighting. Lighting can do it all. Lighting can create any mood. It can set up. It is good for celebration times. It is good for wanting to be on your own. Lighting can adjust for family time. It works for the youth. You can adjust lighting for the elderly and aging, and for those who are like having a harder time to see. It makes such a big difference. It can make a space feel dirty and or clean. And when you have an item in a room that can function and serve that many functions for one thing, it's a good way to it's a good option to be able to transform a space when one thing can do so many. I guess that's a way to say it.
No, that's very well said. So, in your opinion, how is design and design marketing, and you're looking at rebranding right now or updating your brand, shifted to accommodate today's consumers? Now, there's a shift in consumers, their age group, what their likes and dislikes are. Is investing in the experience of home a timely idea right now? People are interested in the experience of being at home. What is that experience like? Is that you feel that's more a part of it, or is there some other elements at play in people designing their living spaces?
I'm not sure I'm going to answer this correctly. So, but
answer it to your way.
The way that you're saying it, I think to myself is that, for one, being at home obviously changed how people view the home for sure. The uptick in social media and it being, interior design is what is classified as goals. Like that's goals for so many people. I mean, it's hashtag goals for someone to have a beautiful space, a beautiful home, a place where they can, house their friends and have people over. It's such a goals thing. And so I think in marketing, we are selling the experience of having the goal. Like you're selling the idea of that lifestyle and where you're headed and what you can do and how you can be inspired and inspiring to others. The marketing very much has changed, and I think we're selling definitely the experience. I'm not sure I answered that honestly.
No. I think you've kind of fine-tuned what your selling.
Yeah, we definitely
is.
sell. Yeah, we definitely sell the goals lifestyle. We definitely sell, but not just the lifestyle for us. We sell the luxury service as far as my brand goes. We're showing the clients that we can take care of everything from start to finish. We can move you through this very seamlessly and stress-free. That's what we sell. But
are they, when you're dealing with your clients, are they bringing some of their life experiences into the, maybe they might be items that they picked up on trips or whatever. Are they bringing those or asking you to put them within the concept you're creating?
For sure. And then we tell them to stop. No, I'm just kidding. Some clients we do.
Yeah.
It
might be a little too much.
Yeah, it's too much. That's ugly. No, it's of course. And we want them to, like, at the end of the day, this is their house. This is not my space. It's their house, their money, their investment. And so at the end of the day, one lasting impression is that we want to leave with them is that they felt heard and they felt ownership of it. And so we try to create and design spaces that don't really look the same project to project, because it shouldn't. And we really try to incorporate whatever they want to incorporate.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's nice. If it's not nice, then no. We will tell them to put in the basement.
Well, all right. Now that brings me to, we talked earlier about your getting with students on occasion and speaking to them. And part of our audience are young professionals, are students, and even people who are considering changing their life into another career direction.
Okay.
What would be your advice to those students right now as to looking for a pathway? How to get here?
Yeah, for sure. The first thing is to know that business and design are two very different things. And so if you want to just focus on design, you need to work for someone else. But if you like the business of it all, then you can consider having a business in design. And I think a lot of people get confused because they think like, oh, I'm a creator, I can make something and everybody's going to come and buy it. It doesn't work that way when having your own business, right? So a business of interior design, maybe 15% of my time is spent designing. The rest of it is logistics. The rest of it is running the business. The rest of it is marketing, closing the deals. And I think a lot of younger people aren't fully aware of what it entails to be a successful interior designer with your own firm versus being a successful interior designer. That's it, right? So first, kind of decide where your paths are, which one do you think that you would want to go into and try it. I would always say work for someone else first. Always try to put some time in at someone else's firm. Just learn on the shoulders of someone else, learn on their dime, right?
Yep.
That would be my advice.
Now, let's say these are young people that are in the high school level.
Okay.
And they haven't quite decided if they're going to go to a junior college, a community college, or what have you. And they may not want to go interior design. They may want to go into one of the craft industries supporting what you do. Gosh knows there's probably 10,000 careers in the home furnishings industry, from cutting a tree down in a forest to
for sure
putting it in someone's home. As they're going along and they're traveling, or they're with their family, or they're somewhere, I would assume you'd caution them to soak it all in, to see everything they can see, and to get as much input to develop, I guess, their own point of view. Looking at others.
I mean, the only way that you're really going to have a point of view and to create a point of view is that you have to consume information, consume inspiration, consume ideas, thoughts, and applications, and the way things are done. Consume as much as you can. And I think you'll start finding your own niche of, I actually like this more than I liked that. And for an example, I went into interior design business thinking I loved design, coming into it now realizing like, actually I'm an entrepreneur who loves business. I just so happen to have a business that's in design. I still love design, but I didn't know that until I started learning more about business and was like, wow, this is where my heart is. But I think, consume information as much as you can, take it all in. And I think your own instincts, your own gut will kind of lead you into that direction.
Which goes right back to your statement earlier about if you can work for somebody, then you learn all of the aspects of the business.
Yeah, for sure.
Before you get to, I want to hang my own shingle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you asking me questions? I should ask you questions. You should answer the questions.
I'm just your Sherpa. I'm just your guide along the path.
Sherpa. Okay, got it.
Well, I got to tell you, this has been phenomenal. What a pleasure to meet you, DuVäl.
I know, finally.
It's in person. I love doing this after 2020. This is just a blast.
Good.
I wish you much success in what you're doing and all the efforts you have going.
Appreciate it.
If I can ever be of help, and please call on me.
But you guys heard that here first. They heard it here first.
Oh boy, there we go. Can we cut that part of it? No, I'm just kidding. A pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
Thank you for being on the program today, and much luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Design Between the Lines is produced by Element Studio with the International Society of Furniture Designers. We record in High Point, North Carolina. To find videos of these podcasts, be sure to subscribe to the International Society of Furniture Designers YouTube channel. To learn more about ISFD, visit isfd.org. And don't forget to subscribe to hear more industry stories of design between the lines.